This is my fourth and final workout of my 1-week experiment. This was a 76-mile, 4,700 feet of climbing workout. At this point in the experiment, I wanted to test my climbing legs against those that were just a little bit better than me. When I got to the meetup, I was glad to see that there were riders right around my ability. But then, the really fast guy showed up. Hey cycling community, this is Steve Garoussis, the Cycling Greek. With the really fast guy showing up, that meant I wasn't going to be able to test my legs against the others on the major long climb. It was going to be tested on the undulating shorter climbs leading up to the long climb. That is, if I make it that far. A couple weeks ago, I went on one of these fast group rides, and a really fast guy showed up. He went to the front and just started pulling us. I made it about 3 miles before I got dropped. Even with a bad night of sleep that caused me almost not to come out, I started feeling pretty good. Still, I didn't know how long I was going to last. Let's now jump to just about the 17-mile mark. This is where the longer of the undulating climbs that lead to the bottom of the main climb begin. At this point, I consider this kind of a minor victory being with the main group here, as a couple of riders have already been dropped. However, what happens now will not only tell me how my old guy form is doing compared to the others, but how I'm also doing with my little experiment. Right now it's about 6:30 in the morning and it's almost 80 degrees. The number that you see right in the lower middle of the screen, well, that's my wattage. My FTP is right around 270 watts, or maybe I should say it's no more than 270 watts. It's been a while since I measured it. Another number to keep an eye on is toward the right side, my heart rate. Based on an effort earlier this year, my max is 164. I talk about the specific effects of aging on the heart in video number 1 of this 4-video series. I'll have the first 3 videos linked in the description below. Jump into the action on the screen. We just finished that first undulation, that first step, so to speak. And now we're coming to something that's a bit challenging for me. This section here gets a little steeper. I have trouble with the steeper stuff. I love the climb, but when it gets really steep, others go faster than I do. The grade reaches about 9% and then it eases up a bit and then it starts another climb. With those pulling away in front of me and those that were in back of me dropping back, I'm in no man's land. I had no idea I was in no man's land because I didn't know if anybody was behind me. I haven't turned my head around in about 3 miles because I just didn't want to take the energy. I had noticed that those in front of me stopped pulling away and I was thinking maybe I can catch them before they get over the top, because once they get over the top, they'll hit a flat section that starts off as a downhill and then it'd be gone. Right now I'm in my VO2 max zone, zone 5. 2 things have to happen for me in order to connect. 1, that I keep up this pace. 2, that I don't redline. 3, that those in front of me don't punch it. As it turns out, I was able to make that connection. I'm not out of the woods yet. I still have to stay with these guys to get over this climb, and this climb ends with a little steeper section, so that's on my mind as I'm approaching it. I had no idea what was going on behind me until I put this video together. We lost a few more people, so what we have left here are people that are current racers and former racers, ranging from Cat 4s, that should be Cat 3s, all the way to Cat 1s, or former Cat 1s. You may have noticed that I moved up 1 position. Ordinarily on efforts like this, I want to be toward the front so I can have a little bit of a buffer, but many of these guys are much stronger than I am. I just don't want to be in a position where I force myself into a position and create a gap. Now, I wasn't familiar with a rider that I did exchange positions with, but he seemed to be similar to me in abilities on this particular climb, so I made the move to get back on Ronnie's wheel, who's in the blue jersey. We have now jumped to the 21-mile mark. We have already gone up a small climb, another one of these major steps, and now we're on the last major step, and this one gets steep. Right about now I was thinking, whatever happens the rest of the ride, this little experiment of mine has been a success. Now, it's not something I could do week after week, but I felt like I picked up some upper end form when I got to this ride, and if I hadn't done what I did, I would have already been dropped. But now we have this really steep section. After we regrouped at the store, I found out that those that had an ability close to mine were going to go do another ride. It was just going to be me and the really fast guys doing a 12-mile climb. Once we took off from the store, I found my legs were pretty reamed. I bid the others adieu, and I just climbed at a comfortable endurance pace. Jumping back to the action on the screen, I'm still with these guys over this steep section, and it's going to be finishing soon. Even though I couldn't think of hanging with the others on the 12-mile climb, this was a good day for me. I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it. As always, remember, comment, like, subscribe. The Cycling Greek.